This recording is to show you the recommended way to send your end of match check-ins, including the survey. So, what I recommend you do is every Monday, check your dashboard, your CoachArt Connect dashboard, and that should have all of your end of match check-ins needed. Even though this is the CoachArt Connect dashboard, this will have all in-home lessons and program partner scholarships here. So if you click into your report, and I would make sure to refresh it, and you can either refresh that within the report or on the dashboard to make sure it's updated. So I'm going to focus on this particular in-home lesson that I see is ending this week on the 10th. So what I recommend you do is click into the class to see more details. So the first thing you want to do is check in with the volunteer, because if the volunteer is able to continue, this can be a rollover and can turn into another match. So you're going to want to click on the volunteer, and I like to right click and open in a new tab. And you can send the email directly from within Salesforce, and it pulls in all the relevant information. So you're going to click what I do is I hover over activity history and click send an email. You can also scroll down to activity history and click send an email. So from here, we're going to automatically pull in fields from that class we were just in. So if you select a related to class, and because we were just in the class, if you just hit the magnifying glass, it will usually pull up the last class. You can see this number 021573, 021573. So the last class you were in is the first class that you'll see in recently viewed classes. The other thing you can do is copy and paste the class number into this field. But in this case, what I think is easiest is just click on it. The next thing you're going to do is select a template. And when you click that, you'll get a little pop-up window which will show you all available templates. And the one that you're going to want to use for this is the volunteer in-home lesson rollover letter. So if you click that, it's magically going to pull in all of the information you need. It's going to pull in her name, and if you want to make it more casual, you're welcome to make it just first name. It tells them when the lessons are set to end. It links to the survey. It reminds them about the celebration. It links them back to the coach corner. And it's basically asking whether or not they're able to continue. So it says, if you're able to continue, reply to this email and let us know. If you're not able, reply to this email and let us know. So the hope is that you'll send this, and you can just hit send. You can put yourself in the BCC, if you want to kind of see it and see what it looks like. And at that point, you're gonna wait and hopefully hear back from the volunteer. Feel free to text or call if you haven't heard back, especially by the end date. In the good news that the volunteer replies and says, I'm having a great time with my student. I'd love to roll over. You would go ahead and create a new class. And you can do that. The easiest way to do that is to go into the existing class, and you can clone it. It'll populate all the same information. You'll just change the match date, the start date, and end date. So basically, the next step is going to be determined by whether or not the volunteer can continue. If the volunteer can continue and you create the new class, once the class is created, you can go back into the class, the new class, click on the student, and do something really similar where you're going to send the family an email letting them know that the volunteer is able to roll over. You would go to activity history, send an email, and then in this case, you would choose the new class that you created, because you're going to be pulling in the rollover information. I didn't create it, so I'm just going to use the last one for the sake of the example. You go to select a template, and in this case, you can select family, Family in-home lesson and program partner rollover email. So you'll see that there's a couple options here. One is the family in-home lesson program partner rollover email, and this one is no rollover. So you're going to send them one or the other. This is if the volunteer can't roll over. This is if the volunteer can roll over. If the volunteer can roll over, you'll see that this is going to magically, hopefully, populate in the mom's name. It's going to congratulate them for finishing the lessons. It's going to ask them to take the quick survey. And then it's going to say, we're happy to inform you that your coach would like to continue for another 8 weeks. And then it pulls in it will pull in the new information because you're linking it to the new class. And it'll ask them just to confirm they're available. If they're not available, you can cancel the class. But in most cases, they're available. If you find out from the volunteer that they're not available to roll over, you would just be selecting a different template. You would select the family no rollover email. And this will still ask them to take the survey. It'll let them know, well, it essentially just won't offer them the rollover, and it'll tell them to keep the eye out for the newsletter for upcoming opportunities. And you're welcome to personalize this too. So you can put from Lizzie or Eric, I don't know, I went to the middle. So you're welcome to just take this template again. I think the last name seems a little formal, so you can change that. You could change the title. It's going to send from you as the user since you're logged in from your Salesforce. So this same process works for program partner, except we don't really have a program partner template. You'll just be reaching out to the program partner. If they roll over, you can create the class, use these templates again. But this is a great way to make sure that you're always checking in about rollovers. You're always getting the end of lesson survey out. You're hopefully creating more matches when you are able to have a rollover. So let me know if you have any questions on this. I just want to add, as it relates to surveys, that any match made on the platform will automatically send out a confirmation letter that has the survey. But the template, if you want to use a confirmation letter template for any class, if you're making the match manually, you can select the family and home lesson confirmation letter or the volunteer confirmation letter as well. Volunteer in home lesson confirmation letter. So this will have the survey. It'll pull in all the information that they need for the upcoming class. So again, this happens automatically with a platform match. Any manual match, you're welcome, and I encourage you to use the template from within Salesforce and to send the email directly from here, plus there'll be a record of it. So let me know if you have any questions on this, but I look forward to re-implementing these techniques and getting as much data as we can and making as many rollovers as we can. Thanks, everybody.